y'all? It's time for another celebrity couple astrology reading. I take a look at celebrities' compatibility and connections based on their alignment of their natal charts together. We get to be nosy and see their real connections, challenges within their relationships, and how compatible they really are behind closed doors. Yeah, we get to be all up in their business. So, you ready? Let's go. Peace and blessings, peace and blessings. What's up, everyone? What is up? It is time for another episode of being nosy all up in these people's charts, right? So, today we are going to look at the couples, Jada and Will, right? Why not? They've been all up in the news. Some information has come out that they have been separated for the last 7 years. I don't think anybody is really surprised about that, right? They've had a very interesting uh, relationship, right? For a very long time, they were considered relationship couple goals, right? And then some shifting came along when they came out, or it was said, because I don't recall them specifically saying it directly that they have an open relationship. But we know that there's been some entanglement, some allegations, what have you, right? So let's go ahead, let's take a look at the chart and see what is going on between Miss Jada and Mr. Will. Right? So pull the information, and the information that is out there is that Jada, September 17th, 1971, is a Virgo, right? And not only is she a Virgo, but she is a four-time Virgo, right? We'll talk about that in a second. Then Mr. Will, September 25th, 1968, right? He is a Libra, and not only is he a Libra, he is a four-time Libra, right? So what does that mean, right? Okay, so Jada, four-time Virgo, right? So that's the energy of a perfectionist, very intelligent, logical, and calculating. All right, it's going to take the steps to make whatever uh, whatever she wants to happen. She's going to take the necessary steps to get that done. Right, so very calculating with a purpose. Virgo is going to bring that energy of critical thinking, right? A energy of nurturing. Now we all know that Virgos can be very nitpicky, and it goes along with that energy of perfection, right? And again, typically that Virgo energy, that nitpickiness, that picking that lint off your collar, that white glove check, making sure everything, it typically comes from a very good place, right? And so that energy is influencing the four placements that it's influencing is her sun, all right, who she is, her moon, how she expresses herself, Mercury, how she communicates, right? And then Pluto, which brings about a transformation. So she's really the what she puts out, what the energy that she brings and she exudes is to make things better, right? Okay. Will, September 25th, that Leo, that four times Libra energy, right? So what does that mean? Right? Libras are really about relationships, right? They really want that partnership, that companionship. They are air signs, so they are always in their heads. They're always balancing both sides of the coins to make sure that they make the right decisions, and oftentimes more than not really making a decision because they They don't want to bring about hurt and pain for the other person. They want to make sure that everything is balanced, everything is centered, everything is in alignment, and they do that oftentimes to a detriment, right? He has this energy for a time in an alignment with his sun, which is who he is, Mercury, how he communicates and receives information and understands, comprehends information, Venus, how he loves and receives love and the love that he wants to uh, get back, and the South Node, right? Something that he needs to kind of let go of, right? And so he has that 4 times, that energy 4 times in his chart, right? So he's going to be really, really flexible. And in his mind, the things that would irritate most people, the things that he does or that she does, he has probably figured out a way to balance it out in his mind. And so, what that says to me is that his Libra energy, it's her actions, because she's the Virgo, she's the perfect version, she's the epitome of what he desires. She's beautiful. Virgos are beautiful. They have a way of communicating, and with he has a lot of energy related to Mercury, which rules Virgo, right? So they align in a way that uh, that only their particular combination can create. And so with that Libra energy, what she does probably irritates the fans more than it irritates him. Because he done bounced it all out in his head. Now, is it affecting him? Probably. But he has figured out a way to make it all make sense or to just balance it out. Right. And so they have, like I said, a very, very unique combination, astrological combination, right? And so we know that she had mentioned 7 years ago they've separated, right? And I pulled up a chart and I pulled it up when I did a little research earlier, so I don't have it in front of me right now. But they did have a sun moon conjunct with their nodes, right? And so with that, that is a shifting of and an eclipsing what you need to kind of let go of and learn from, and the energy and what you need to move forward towards. Right. I believe that he was her, you know, he made sense. They have a combination where they not only love each other, but they like each other. And I think that the ability to communicate on such a deep level with all of the Mercury flowing between their charts, because she has imprinted with all of the Virgo energy. She has made an imprint in his life, right? That it's a very, very deep imprint because she has, again, Virgo in Sun, Moon, Mercury, right? And he has Mercury energy in Mars, Jupiter, Uranus, um, and Pluto. So she has imprinted in him. So they have this connection, right? And I believe that he was the beautiful choice, right? Because they both have their Venus is in Libra, so they are a beautiful couple. They have this beautiful love connection, or from a karmic standpoint, he finds her very beautiful, and she finds him very beautiful in a different way. Now, would I say that he loves her more than she loves him, just according to the chart that I created? I would say yeah, but I would say that they also do love each other in a very deep way that no one else would be able to understand, right? So with that, I also had to take a look at the, the forever love connection, right? And if I was to believe in soulmate, I would definitely say this was a soulmate connection slash soul twin connection, and that is the connection between Jada and Tupac, right? So I pulled his information, I pulled his chart. He is born June 16th, 71, right? Gemini, Moon Aries, Venus Gemini, right? And when I pulled up their charts together, what I noticed is that they have a lot of generational planets and similar signs, right? So that alone, what that tells me from a spiritual standpoint is that they mirror each other, right? Their souls, they their past, their experiences, the time they were born in, mirrored each other because they had a lot of the same signs in the same planets. They had Libra, Uranus and Libra. They had Sagittarius and Neptune. They both had Virgo and Pluto, right? Their north and south nodes were the same. Their north nodes both was Aquarius, so they had the the future of focusing on humanity, which we knew that was a path that Tupac was already focusing on, right? And same with her, she needs to maybe with that Aquarius in that North Node where she needs to go forward in is focusing on humanity, right? Where they're both share the same South Node, Leo, right? For her, I believe that translated into her not focusing so much on self, right? And for him, I believe that was him moving away from the focus of self onto that which is humanity and the message that he brought because he did bring about a certain awakening in that time frame that he was here, right? What I noticed about them is that with a lot of the generational planets and signs together, their chart and how I pulled their chart up is that they have the ability to communicate on a very, very deep and spiritual level, right? And in theory, when you look at them, you're like, oh, they're a beautiful couple. They're a fun couple to be around. They're absolutely perfect for each other, you know, but something happened where they know that it was just better for them to be just friends or best friends or twin souls or twin soul twins or soulmates or whatever it is that they call themselves, right? And so when I pulled up their chart, I noticed that they did have uh, they had the Venus conjunct Pluto, right? So what does that bring? Great passionate affairs. Hmm. So the question is, did they have were they intimate? Probably. They probably was, right? But they probably realized that they were better off best friends, right? I believe that with that energy, they were able to cause each other to grow. And I believe that even to this day, he is influencing her life, right? I wouldn't even be surprised if she is contacting him through seance or meditation, right? Because they had that type and that form of a connection. They have this intense transformation and it's still going on, right? With that Mars and lunar node connection, there's a long passion and love that grows and lasts. And a lot of couples have this, right? And unfortunately, he is no longer here in the physical as we are, right? But they still have that. That's not going to change. That's not going to change at all. And so, with that, Tupac will always be over any person that she couples with, right? There's no way around it. And whoever she couples with, they're just going to have to be okay with that. They have to be okay with that, even though he is in the ancestor realm, right? I do believe that uh, Will came, he was able to balance that out in his mind, you know, uh, and whoever else he couples with, in fact, he will always be that. He will always be, that God to her because, or and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it is what it is. But at the same time, going back in time, and even now, that Jupiter opposing Saturn, right? That is what caused them to realize that even though they were perfect for each other, they're they were also so different from each other, right? And so at that, when I'm looking at their her Sagittarius and his Scorpio Jupiter, and then her Gemini Saturn and his Taurus Saturn, what I'm seeing is that one or two things happen. I said, she was trying to explain to him, or she's going to want to expand and realize that there's certain rules and there's certain ways of doing things, and that he, knowing his path, know that her what he had planned for his life, it was different than what she had planned, right? And of course, we all know what happened in that whole scenario, right? But that, I believe, that Jupiter opposing Saturn is that conclusion that they came to as to why they didn't take it further when, of course, he was alive. So this was a very interesting reading, very interesting couple. I think that just looking at their charts, and of course Jada and Will's chart, it looks like that the cycle has ended. I don't believe that their friendship has ended. Now, because they do have that energy of manipulation, they have that energy where manipulation have occurred, and that is what kind of chiseled away at the marriage. uh, Now, who manipulated who? uh, I don't know. I mean, because they both have that energy, with that Virgo energy, because she wanted certain things in a perfected standpoint. Only way that is going to happen is that some manipulation takes place. They, with that Jupiter sextiling Uranus, they both like a level of independence and freedom. So was that what it was? Because were they honest about it? Because they do have a Mars squared Neptune, right? And that is manipulative, frustrating, dishonest energy, right? That brings about, that conversation that says, okay, we need to take time away. So I believe that that cycle has ended, but we know that all things, and we're in that energy of things ending to end, to bring about new things, and they could be new things separately, or they could be new things together. I really think right now that their friendship, they'll always have that connection, but I think that cycle has ended. So, and that's without taking a look at the transition, just taking a look at the energy that they have. And I don't know, we will see. But yeah, so comment below, share, tell me what you think is going to happen. You can also comment on other couples that you'd like to see done. All right? All right. Peace and blessings, and I'm out.